This is the EufyCam 3C, which in this tiny form factor is a full-on 4K security camera with a ton of features. Hello and welcome back, or if you're new here then just hello, welcome. My name is Scott and I like to make videos, and in this video we're going to be looking at the EufyCam 3C model S300, which is not to be confused with the EufyCam 3 No C model S330. Now, while this is not a sponsored video in any way, shape or form, Eufy were kind enough to send me this for free, so thank you for supporting small creators such as myself. Before we get into the box, it's worth mentioning at this early stage that this camera is not a standalone camera. It will only work with the Homebase version 3. If you have the Homebase version 2, sadly, it ain't gonna work. Instead, perhaps have a look at the EufyCam 2C video up here somewhere. I would also like to say I personally have a lot of Eufy kit, some of which I've purchased and paid for myself, and some I've been lucky enough to have been sent. But, hand on heart, I promise to be open, transparent, and give my honest opinion on this product, regardless of what the trolls might say. So, with those little disclaimers out of the way, let's start by diving straight in the box and see what we get. Once in the box, the first thing we see front and center is the EufyCam 3C in all of its glory, which measures 5.4 by 6.3 by 9.1 centimeters and weighs a measly 358 grams. On the back is the thread for mounting the bracket. The bottom has a USB Type-C port for charging, and the top is the sync button to get it connected to the Homebase. Next in the box we have a Type-C to Type-A USB charge cable, and then the articulating mounting arm thingamajig. And then below this we have a War and Peace novel, also known as some gumph, or more commonly a user manual with some more gumph underneath that. And that's it, a quick and simple unboxing experience. At time of filming this video on Amazon, this will set you back £119.99 Great British pounds. This model, as I mentioned, is 4K with an 8 million pixel resolution and has a 135-degree field of view. It also has two-way audio for that little chit-chat with your trespasser, so without any further ado, here is what footage from this camera looks and sounds like. So here is what footage from the EufyCam 3C looks and sounds like on an overcast, cloudy day in a car. So there's an outdoor example. It has a single lithium rechargeable battery that is estimated to last around 180 days, which from experience with the previous iteration of this camera is about right, but is also compatible with a solar panel for forever power. And because it's battery powered, there is no ability to be able to record 24/7. There is no local storage on this camera. As it's paired with the Homebase, all the recordings are stored there. And with a 1 terabyte drive inside of your Homebase, you can store up to 15 years of recordings. That is insane. Eufy also offer an optional cloud storage service starting from $2.99, that's dollars, for one device per month. It has an IP65 rating, which means it's protected from all dust ingress and low pressure water jets, which basically just means rain. And it has everything else you'd expect from a security camera, such as motion detection, setting activity zones, night vision, and a starlight photosensitive system, which is just marketing speak for night vision via the use of a spotlight. Via its pairing with the Homebase 3, it can also utilize advanced human, vehicle and pet detection, as well as Eufy's bionic mind for face recognition. It's compatible with both Mrs. A and Google Home, so that you can ask your smart home assistant to show you the live feed, but unfortunately there is still no Apple HomeKit support for the Homebase version 3, and therefore none for this camera either. And finally, as with all Eufy products, this does not require any subscription of any kind to be able to use it to its full potential. So, how easy is it to use to its said full potential? Let's go find out. Once again, this will only work with the Homebase version 3, so start by getting the camera and yourself close to said home base. The app you will need is called Eufy Security and is available from your app store of choice. And if you don't already have an account, you'll need to create one and then log in so you're able to then add the camera. Click the plus icon in the top right hand corner where you will then be prompted with various categories. This is a battery camera, and then we see the S300 option. Next, if you're fortunate enough to have more than one home base, choose which one you're adding the camera to and then press the sync button on top for 2 seconds until you hear the beep. The home base will then confirm it's ready and start listening for the weird transformer-like sound which is emitted from the camera.
Ready to add device.
It took around 14 seconds to add, and then you need to give it a name and choose a location for the camera before the home base then proceeds to initialize it. As you can see here, I got a notification from Alexa and it picked it up pretty damn quick without me needing to lift a single finger. Once initiated, you are then walked through the various best practices for the mounting of the camera, which you can't skip. And that's it for setup. Walk to where the camera is going to live and monitor the signal strength between it and the home base, and then just basically away you go. Next is the physical install, which is simple as screwing the articulating arm and then screwing the camera to that. Your shiny new 3C will now be available in the Eufy app, so you can start customizing it until your heart is content. And because it's linked to the home base, it can be managed within the Eufy ecosystem, which is the security modes and automation. For example, just by setting the Homebase 3 security mode to bedtime, all devices then attached to this, including this new camera, are also then set to bedtime. Bonus! As you've just seen, the setup remains super easy, but sadly not so quick. Now you have those annoying prompts. So Eufy, if you're watching, it would be really good if we're able to have an option to skip those, please. Thanks. The camera, although small for something so powerful, is noticeably bigger than its predecessor, the EufyCam 2C. And whilst this isn't a problem for me per se, if you have squeezed a 2C into a small crevice or space, I'd recommend you check out the measurements in advance. There's no anti-theft option on this one like there is on the S330, which I thought was a really good feature, so I was a little sad not to see it here. However, I did like the ability to be able to set a streaming quality separate to a recording quality. And as this is 4K, you can now, via the use of pinching, zoom into the image up to 8 times. And at 8x, you can still make out the details in the video, which is very impressive. How does the 4K image of this compare to that of the 1080p on the 2C? This side, we have the EufyCam 3C, and this side we have the EufyCam 2C, and some feedback from my iPad over there that's recording it. In terms of the feed and the delay, it seems to have gotten a little bit worse recently. When I was testing, there was a good second between the real world and the feed, so I'm really hoping this is just an update away from being improved. I like that the app is simple to use but still looks good, and everything that a home user could possibly want access to is right there. But it's in simple, plain English with no complicated jargon. There is a new feature currently only in beta called Security Report, which I actually only found out about when researching for this camera. When enabled, the Security Report gives you a new section at the top of the app, which is kind of an overall activity report on the daily events across the entire system. Now, I personally found this very useful as I can clearly see what times of day are the most active, see my regular visitors, and then drill into a specific time or event, where it then cycles through it automatically for me. Previously, I've used the events section in the app, which was somewhat limited. Now, £119 is a hell of a lot of money, but where this camera is concerned, you do get what you pay for, as the quality of the unit is top notch, as is the 4K footage. So if you like your new gadgets and are a 4K convert like me, then I would say yes, go and pick one up for yourself. But if you don't need or even care about 4K, then maybe save yourself a few quid and go look at the EufyCam 2C, which is still Homebase 3 compatible, and because of this, you can still benefit from the facial recognition and a few other features. And it's only $79.99 Great British pounds at time of filming this video. So there you go, another Eufy camera review and another one added to my ever-growing collection. Now, if you have any questions about this particular camera or anything else for that matter, then please let me know in the comments box down below. And whilst you're down there...
That's what she said.
please do consider liking the video, even if you didn't, subscribing if you aren't already, and hitting the bell to get notified when I upload new videos, because it really helps me get sent more free stuff like this to play with. So yeah, thanks, and thank you for watching. Goodbye, internet.
Throw this shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. Why they throwing shade on me, like they ashamed on me? I thought, what age are we?